Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making a special filling, if you will, that needs to be baked. It's known as Frangipane and it's Italian and it's very fancy, but it sounds fancier than it really takes to make. In other words, it's super easy. My first job as a pastry chef, and I was still a culinary student, my boss told me to make it. The executive chef says, make Frangipane. It was the easiest thing to do, but I made Frangipane, a lot of it. And Frangipane is basically a paste, or it's traditionally almond flavored, only has a few ingredients, usually eggs, almonds. I'm going to be making it with sliced almonds, and traditionally it is sliced blanched almonds. So that's almonds without the skin on it. It'll have a nicer look to it. It's got sugar and it's got butter and some flavorings and a little flour. And you make it and you can store it in your fridge and you can put it on the base of a tart shell, bake it off, put fruit on top of it. I used to make it with like a linzer dough, like you would use for a linzer tort. Put a layer of Frangipane on that and then put fresh figs sliced on top. Or I would put fresh apples or plums, and then you bake it together. And it's extraordinary. It almost has like a macaroni flavor. Now, you don't even have to make it with almonds. You can make it with other nuts as well. But we're making the traditional Frangipane. And I make it in the food processor because you really want to grind your almonds up really, really well. All right, so let's start with 1 cup of blanched sliced almonds. And I've toasted them and I've allowed them to cool. And the reason why you want these to go in first, because you really want to get them finely ground. So you don't want to taste big, huge pieces of almond. It's almost like a paste. Some people call it a custard because it has egg in it. And once it gets into the oven, the Frangipane puffs up a little bit. And that's what gives it this macaroni flavor. And it is spectacular. And there's a few different ways to make it, but this is one great way to make it. So 1 cup of sliced blanched almonds, toasted and cooled. And then I want to make sure I give you the right amount of sugar. I have ½ cup plus 4 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And those 2 items are going to go together, nuts and sugar, and we're going to let them go by themselves. Nuts have oils. We want to make sure the sugar, this is like a little secret tip, the sugar should absorb all or any oil that comes out of the nuts. So you're not going to end up with like an almond butter. We don't want that. All right, so I'm just going to keep pulsing that. Let's see if we can see it. I cover my food processor so that anything that spews out won't come at me or all over my kitchen. So you can see it almost looks like almond flour, and it's got the sugar on it. And you can actually smell it through that little hole. It actually screams almond. It's spectacular. So I have that beautiful, you can see it's beautiful, nice and pulsed, and beautifully crushed and pulverized almonds and sugar. Now I'm going to put in 6 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter. All right. And then I'm going to put in 1 large egg and a yolk. 1 large egg and a yolk. 2½ tablespoons of flour, all-purpose flour. You could use almond flour. If you were gluten-free, you could do that as well. And then the piece de resistance. This is my little take on Frangipane. You don't have to do this. You can even use almond extract, amaretto, or any type of almond-flavored liqueur. 2½ tablespoons. Yum, yum, yum. Put that in there. And then that's it. That is your Frangipane. That is it. So I'm just going to put it together. I'm going to mix it up. And it's going to almost look like a paste. And it's lovely. Sometimes it's thicker. It depends on, the recipe, but sometimes it's thicker, sometimes it's not as thick. This is lovely. It should be spreadable. I've even seen recipes where you slice a freshly made croissant, and I have a great video on how to make croissant, and you slice it, you smear a little Frangipane on the 1/2 of the croissant. And then you top it with the other half and bake it. Right? Right? You see where I'm going with this? It's spectacular. So this does need to be baked. You don't want to eat the raw egg. And this will keep in your refrigerator for several days, up to a week. And I am actually going to do that. I'm going to put this in my refrigerator in preparation for some videos to show you exactly what to do with it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Now you know how to make this easy, easy, easy frangipane filling. Until next time, I hope you become a subscriber.